Hi, in this video, we will see the use of comparator interface while working with TreeSet. Let us create a TreeSet object and create few employee objects, and we store the employee objects into the TreeSet and see how it works. So we have an employee class. This class has two instance variables, ID and name. It has parameterized constructor, hashcode method, equals method, and toString method as well. So now let us create few employee objects, and we also create tree set and store the employee objects into the tree set. Employee E1 equal to new employee, and we pass the ID and the name of the employee. We create few more employee objects and store these employee objects into the TreeSet objects. TreeSet object. Okay. So E2, E3, and E4. And the ID we pass 102, name as Ravi, 103, name as Vanita, 104, name as Arun. So now we will create a TreeSet object. TreeSet employee my TreeSet equal to new TreeSet. Right. Now we will create the now we will add the employee objects into the tree set. So my tree set dot add E1. Okay. My tree set dot add E1, then my tree set dot add E2, E3, and E4. E2, E3, then E4. Okay, so we have added the four employee objects into the tree set. Now what we do is, let us print the content in the tree set by using the system dot out dot println. Okay, so we will print the content of the tree set. Right. So let us print it. Now we will run this code and see the output. So we will run this code. We are getting the exception, class cast exception. It is thrown when the employee object is cast to comparable. The reason for this exception is uh, when the tree set store the objects, right? It will also sort the objects. So while sorting, it compares the objects. In order to compare the object, it uses the compare to method of comparable interface. So the tree set expects the objects stored are comparable. That means our employee class should implement the comparable interface. But you can see this class hasn't implemented the comparable interface. But assume that this class is not written by us, it is written by some third party, and we do not have control on the source code. We can't alter the source code. In this scenario, how to solve this problem? In order to solve this problem, we have one solution. The solution is TreeSet has one overloaded constructor. That constructor takes the object of class which implements comparator interface. So what we need to do is we have to write a class, and that class should implement the comparator interface. Then we have to pass the object instance of that class to the constructor of this tree set. Okay, now we will do that. Let us create one class. We can give the name as name comparator, because we want to compare the objects, employee objects, based on the employee name. Okay, so let us give the name as name comparator. Okay, then that class should implement the comparator interface. Okay, that class should implement the comparator interface. Comparator. Okay, then we have to we have to um, provide the import. We have to import this code, this one also, right? So this we have done. And we have to provide the this method. We can do one more thing. We can give this way, so that we don't need to cast down the objects. Okay, so this will help us to solve some, minimize some coding. Okay, so we add the unimplemented method. It has only one method, right? It has a method called compare. So we need to implement the compare method in this code. Okay, so what I have to do is, now what we need to do is we have to um, compare the employee names of these two objects. So o1, okay, o1 dot get name dot, this name is actually a string, so string has a comparative method, so we have to pass the uh, employee name of other employee, that is o2 dot get name. So now it is done. So what we can do now is we have to go to the main class. Now we can what we need to do is we have to create the object instance of name comparator. So how to do that? We can here itself, in the constructor itself, we can create the instance new name comparator. Okay, name comparator. We are calling the name comparator constructor. Okay, we are creating the instance of name comparator, and we pass it to the this constructor of the tree set. So now we can run this code. Now it will work fine. Okay, so let us run this code and see the output. See these employee objects are stored, also they are sorted. So we get Arun, employee name Kumar, employee name Ravi, then finally employee name Vanita. Okay, so in this session we have seen how to use comparator, and how to use comparator, with the help of comparator, how we can store objects in